Hey, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, hi, I'm Taylor and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I am going to be testing out the new Elf Chipotle eyeshadow palette. I am going to be doing a tutorial on this look I am wearing right now. Also, I'm going to be doing swatches and giving you guys my thoughts and review on this palette. So make sure you have your post notifications turned on so you don't miss an upload. I will be doing a video with this palette, creating 4 totally different looks using this one palette. So make sure you have your post notifications turned on, and let's start the video. This is the Elf x Chipotle eyeshadow palette. This eyeshadow palette has 12 different shades, and all the names of them are related to Chipotle, which I think is super cool. I really like all the shadows. They go together really well. So I'm going to start swatching them now. So I'm just going to be starting at one end of the palette and working my way down. I'm just going to be taking my finger and run it across the shade a couple times and then swatch it on my arm. And the first shadow is a shimmer shadow. It's like a really kind of like a brown shimmer with like a hint of orange, I would say. It has like an orange effect to it. And then now I'm just going to be swatching that green shadow. This is a matte shadow. And I believe this shadow was called Lettuce. I don't have my paper with me that says the shadow names on it, but I'm pretty sure this one was called Lettuce, and it's a really pretty green shade. I do think that the matte shadows are not as pigmented as I was expecting. Some of the, especially the brown ones, when I swatch them, I'm not really impressed with the formula. I know I've used quite a few of the Elf bite-sized palettes, and this formula is definitely different. Even the shimmer shadows in this palette is not the same. The shimmers aren't really that creamy, and I don't think they're that pigmented. They are pigmented, but they aren't like over the top pigmented. And the matte shadows, I'm not really that impressed with. They didn't swatch that good, I don't think. It's really, the matte shadows are really chalky, so I guess we'll just see how they work on my eye. I did forget to say that this palette does retail for $16. I ordered it off of Elf's website. I don't think they have it at Ulta or anything like that, so I ordered it from Elf's website for $16, like I said, and they do have multiple other things as part of this collection. I just ordered the palette because most of the other things were sold out, so I just grabbed the palette. And like I was saying, I'm not really impressed with these brown matte shadows. They aren't really swatching that great, and even the brown shimmers aren't really that great. They're not very pigmented at all. Honestly, you can't even tell that it's like a shimmer shadow. Like I said, the formula is way different than the bite-sized palettes. If you've tried those before, this formula is not as good, and this palette's $16 and the bite-sized palettes are $3. So here's what all the swatches look like on my arm. Like I said, I think these colors go really pretty together. They're super pretty and go together. I think it screams Chipotle to me. This is like spot on for what I would imagine. I'm really excited to see how many different looks I can create with this palette. The colors go really good together, so I'm excited to see how well they work on my eye. So now I'm just going to be priming my eye. This is the same thing I do before I do any eyeshadow. So I am using a Elf concealer to prime my eyelids. I am just using my beauty blender to blend that all out. I do leave the concealer like tacky. I don't set it with powder or anything like that because I think the eyeshadow just works better on tacky concealer. So the first shade I'm going to be using is this light brown shade. Like I said, I don't have the shade names right here in front of me, so I will like edit them into the video so you guys can see, or I'll put them in the description if I can remember. So I'm just going to be taking that shade and putting it all on the outer corner of my eye, and then I'm going to start to blend all along the crease of my eye, and I'm going to go a little bit above the crease of my eye because I do have hooded eyes and I want that shade to peek through the crease of my eye. This is a really pretty like brownish orangish shadow, I would call it. It's super pretty, and it actually is going on my eye a lot better than the swatches went on my arm, so I'm super excited about that. Now let's just see how well everything blends. So I am just going to be doing those same steps to my other eye, like I said, all along the outer part of my eye, and blend it all along into the crease of my eye. And I am using a mini packing brush to do that. Now I'm just going to be going in with that green shadow, and I do remember that this one is called Lettuce, and I'm just going to be taking that and I'm going to be blending that shadow I just applied all in the crease of my eye, that orangish brown shade. I'm just going to be taking this green shade and blending it all out. So I'm going to be dragging it all along that previous shadow I applied, and I'm going to be going in back and forth in circular motions to help blend everything out. And as you guys can already probably tell, this is blending together super well, and I'm super shocked honestly because the swatches were not doing very good, and this eyeshadow is doing way better on my eyes. It's blending like pretty effortlessly and is blending together really well. I'm not having any issues. It's like blending together like seamlessly. And I'm just going to be doing that same thing to my other eye, and I am using a fluffy blending brush to do that, and I believe this brush is from Morphe. So I am having to dip that brush into the shadow quite a few times to get the payoff and blend it together how I want it to be blended together, but it is blending together really well. Now I just want to deepen up the crease of my eye a little bit, so I'm going to be going into the darkest brown shade that is in the palette, and I am using that same packing brush that I was using for that other brown shade, and I'm just going to be going in on the crease of my eye and the outer corner just to deepen that up a little bit, to make it a little bit deeper of a look. And I am just going to be doing that same thing to my other eye. I just felt like it needed to be a little bit deeper of a look. The brown look I used first wasn't quite dark enough, and it really didn't, it kind of blended in with the green. So I just kind of wanted to deepen that up. So I'm just going to be blending that into the green as well. Now I am just going to be going back in with that fluffy blending brush with that green shadow and just blending out that darker brown I just applied, and blend those two shades together even better. And I am just going to be going in those same back and forth circular motions to help blend all those shades together so there's no harsh lines where the shadows meet. And now I'm just going to be going in with a fluffy blending brush from Morphe with no product on it. And I'm just going to be blending everything out even further so there's no harsh line where the eyeshadow stops. So I am super happy with how this eyeshadow is turning out. These shades are blending together perfectly and they look really good, and it's not a struggle to blend these shades together. So far the eyeshadow I'm really impressed with. Now I'm just going to start cutting my crease. I'm going to be doing a half cut crease look. So I'm just going to be taking some concealer and cutting my crease. I do have hooded eyes, so I'm doing a little trick where I put the concealer on my eyelid and look up, and that's going to leave the line where you want to cut your crease. And I'm just using a flat brush and packing that concealer on my crease. So I am going to be going in with this green shimmer shadow. I'm hoping that this will look really pigmented on my eye. It did not look so pigmented on my swatches, and my camera was kind of cutting off, so I did kind of cut off my eye when I was applying this, so I do apologize for that. But as you guys can see, that shimmer is going on beautifully, and so I am going to be doing kind of an ombre cut crease, so I'm going to be going also in with that yellowish shimmer shadow and putting that on the inner corner, and I did put the green on the outer corner, and I'm going to blend those two in so it's kind of an ombre. It did kind of, when I did put it on, you can't really tell that I was doing an ombre effect. When I applied the yellow shimmer, it kind of just blended in like the green did, so you can't really tell that much that those are two different shimmer shadows as much as I was hoping for. So now I'm just going to be taking that that packing brush, and I'm going to be going in with that lightest matte brown shadow, and I'm going to be blending together where the shimmer and the shadow meet. I'm going in with the light brown first, and then I will follow with the darker brown just to blend those two together so there's no harsh line and the shimmer and the shadow meet perfectly. And now I'm just going to be taking that darker brown matte shadow and blending it into the outer corner just to deepen that up and help blend those two shimmer shadows and the shadow together so there's no harsh line where the shimmer stops. And now I am going to be taking a flat defining brush, and I'm going to be doing my lower lash line. So I'm taking that darkest brown shadow and running it all along my lower lash line as close to my waterline as possible. And I'm going to be doing that to both of my eyes. And now I'm going to be taking a mini blending brush into that green shadow that's called Lettuce, and I will be blending out my lower lash line with that, and I'm also going to be blending that green up into the other green on my eyelid. And now once again, I'm going to be going in with that fluffy blending brush with no product on it and just blending everything out even more and blending all of those shadows together. And here is my final look. I love how this look turned out. I'm super happy with it. At first, I wasn't too sure about this palette because of the swatches, but now I really love it and the eyeshadow blended perfectly. My look looks really good, so I'm super excited to use this for more eyeshadow looks. Alright guys, that is all I have for you in today's video. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button down below and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in my next video.